we started talking about the value of developing an equanimous mind. What is an equanimous mind? What is the nature of an equanimous mind? An equanimous mind is such that, regardless of outside conditions, you're capable of having a mind which can remain silent, centered, and undisturbed. So the value of developing an equanimous mind is so tremendous, because one other thing that we talked about yesterday is that if we really want to address problems that exist both in human life and in the society, we need to have an equanimous mind which can respond according to the reality of the situation, not according to our prejudices about the situation, not according to our interpretations about the situation. When I say reality, maybe you're thinking, oh, but what is the reality? The reality can be seen from many different angles, so isn't that also an interpretation? That's not what I mean by seeing the reality of the situation. Every single problem, both in individual life and the problems that exist in the world, have definite root causes. They're not just accidental. They're not just happening haphazardly, but they have definite root causes. So are you capable of identifying what is the root causes of human suffering? And obviously we've not truly addressed this, because in thousands of years of life on this planet, still human beings are not able to know how to live peacefully and joyfully on this planet. So obviously we've not addressed the root cause. If you do not address the root cause, the only thing that you will ever be doing is postponing your problems to tomorrow, simply because you're only looking at the symptoms of a problem, the side effects of the problem, but you don't have enough clarity and insight to strike to the very root cause of the problem. So for this, you need an equanimous mind. It's a bit like there were two disciples who were traveling, and they came across a body of water. When they came across the body of water, they saw a woman there. She was afraid to go into the water. So one monk decided to help her. So he carried her, and all three of them, the disciples and the woman, they crossed over to the other side. And then they left the woman there and continued on their way. Now the other disciple was very much disturbed by this, because these are Buddhist monks, and according to their tradition, even if you look at a woman with sexual desire, it's not really different as if you've already committed sexual intercourse with her, because you're reinforcing the pattern, you're reinforcing the habit within yourself. So even to think about stealing, for example, is not different than already committing the act, because you're reinforcing the psychological habit. So the disciple looked over to the other monk and he said, "How is it you just carried this woman across the water? We're not even supposed to look at a woman. We're supposed to live celibate lives." And then the disciple, he just told the other disciple, "I left that woman back at the river bank. You're still carrying her in your mind." So the quality of an equanimous mind, where you can remain silent, grounded, undisturbed. And what we talked about in the previous class was, this is only possible if you can learn how to create just a small gap of distance in your experience between the seer within you, the knower within you, the witnessing intelligence within you, and that which you are witnessing. What you're witnessing can be just about anything. Mind and the five senses will supply you with all kinds of impressions. And you learn something which is so essential in meditation. This is not a process of mere relaxation. Unfortunately, when I look in the media and all these things that are advertising about meditation, they're trying to present it as if this is a system of relaxation. Meditation is not a system of relaxation. It will provide relaxation, yes, but that's not the ultimate thing. Many things in your life can provide you with relaxation. You can listen to nice classical music, get a good massage. A very pleasant meal will also do that. Many things can offer you with relaxation, but relaxation without insight is incomplete. It's not capable of really addressing the problems of human suffering. So one thing we learn in meditation is, and this will become an immediate experience, that suppose you're watching your thought processes in meditation, and you continue being a pure observer. One thing you start to discover is those thoughts gradually start dissipating. Your intellect starts to become silent. Same thing with your emotions. It takes a little bit of time to be anchored in this witnessing consciousness. Many times you'll have to remember, bring your attention back again and again and again into the present moment. But once you become anchored, start watching your emotions. You see, the emotions also gradually start disappearing. So whatever you start to observe with one-pointedness, that gradually starts disappearing. So just take it as a hypothesis. What this means is that if you watch your thoughts or your emotions, and they start disappearing, you cannot be your thoughts or your emotions. So continue observing everything that's happening in the field of your experience. And when everything becomes silent within you, see what remains. What is that which remains when all activity has become silent? So this is when we say you've come to just a small glimpse into what is your true nature. Now, this kind of experience, if you really wanted to have some kind of impact in your life, you cannot just have it as a small glimpse. The main important thing is, how can you maintain it and sustain it in your daily life? That's the problem with the way many people are living. It's not that they've never known happiness. It's not that they've never known moments of peace and silence and relaxation and being somewhat contented. Every human being has had certain glimpses of this in his life. The main question is, can you integrate it into your life? Can these qualities become in such a way that it's inseparable from the very rhythm of your being? So, this is why I've always said, nobody can practice meditation. You can become meditative. And if you're meditative for 24 hours, you can remain in that state. When I say 24 hours, I mean it literally. Even when you go to sleep, it is possible. Usually, I know it's very common that when you go to sleep, you drift off into unconsciousness and you become oblivious, both to yourself and the outside world. But it is even possible to awaken such awareness within you that even when you're in a sleep, the awareness continues. Psychologists are a little bit familiar with this. I don't know if maybe some of you have heard of something called lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is that you're in the dream state, but as opposed to being just completely oblivious in a hypnotic kind of state, you're a bit like a zombie. Rather than that, still a flame of attention and awareness can continue burning within you. That's when you're in the dream, but wakeful that you're in the dream. With your intelligence, with all your faculties intact, just like you're seeing and responding to the outside world right now. The same can be the case, but you're in the dream. So even in sleep, the meditation can continue. So 24 hours, you can be in a state of meditation. The only reason why I'm mentioning this is I'm just trying to point to the importance of integrating certain qualities in your life where rather than having a small glimpse, now this is just a way of being for you. Happiness just becomes, you're no longer seeking happiness. You're no longer in pursuit of happiness. But happiness is just the very way to be. You have no other choice otherwise. What I see happening in the world is the whole thing has become reversed. For a lot of people, they don't know any other way to be except to live stressful. World Health Organization says that the stress that average people are carrying in the world is the greatest epidemic in health today. Not cancer, not the various different kinds of sicknesses and ailments that can happen to the body, but just the psychological stress that a lot of people are carrying within them. Even then, when it comes to physical diseases, so many diseases are just simply created because of the stuff that they're carrying in their mind. So, learning how to integrate these qualities. So for me, yoga is not something that should be practiced, let's say, for an hour or two, or meditation, just sitting an hour or two. That can help. That can create a certain foundation. But throughout your daily life, learn to be awake. Be watchful within yourself. See in most of your waking experience, how many moments can you say that you're truly wakeful and alert and conscious of the things that are happening within you? If we are very sincere with ourselves, you will see that most of the time you're completely gone in your imagination. So for this reason in yoga, we've always said that the experience of life, if you're not living out of awareness, it's Maya. Maya means it's just like a dream. It's made of exactly the same stuff that dreams are made of. It reminds me of there was one master called Chuang Tzu, and he had a few disciples. He woke up one morning, and he was on this morning just totally miserable, completely miserable. His disciples had never seen him like this before, and they've been familiar with him for years. This is the first time they see him so conflicted. So they went and asked him, "What's the matter? What's happened to you? This morning you seem to be a completely different person." Chuang Tzu said, "Oh, if I tell you, you're just going to think this is completely ridiculous." The disciples insisted, "You have to tell us, because we are seeing you always in a state of bliss, joy, and happiness, but on this day you seem totally miserable. Is our well-being also so fragile like this? Can it one day just come crashing down? You have to tell us." So Chuang Tzu said, "Okay, here's the thing. I dreamt I was a butterfly." Disciples hearing this thought, "What the hell? Has this guy gone insane? He's so depressed just because he dreamt he's a butterfly." So then Chuang Tzu said, "Look, you guys, you don't understand. I dreamt that I was a butterfly, but when I woke up, I really did not know whether I was a butterfly dreaming to be Chuang Tzu, or whether I am Chuang Tzu dreaming to be a butterfly." Experience of the mind is very dreamlike. Now, dreamlike in many ways. First thing, everybody in this room is having a very subjective experience of life. This means everybody in this room is producing a different kind of dream. Now, what should we do with the dream? Should we destroy the dream? Should we eliminate the dream? No, there's no need to destroy the dream. Dream is needed. Without dream, there's no life in the world. You need the dream. But are you capable of being involved in this dream, but wakeful about the dream? If you're in the dream, but so drunk and intoxicated by the dream, now you've become a slave to the dream. But if you're in the dream and conscious within you, aware that you're in a dream, then dream is not a problem. So all this comes back to, this is not the main thing in yoga, developing this equanimous mind that I'm talking about. It's a limited aspect of yoga, but it's also a very important aspect of yoga. So one thing which I would like for some of you to explore into these classes is, I would be very happy if even just for a single moment you come to a certain glimpse of that kind of equanimity. And if you can come to a single glimpse of it, if it can happen for one moment, can't you create a million other moments? You can create a million other moments. It can become the very flavor of your life. But first, inducing another quality of experience.